Coach, since you joined the organization, a few things have changed in terms of quarterbacks. The wide receiver was traded away. How does that impact the offense that you want to run here?
Yeah, I mean, it's the roster, the way that the NFL is set up now, I mean, it's very transactional, so things are fluid. And certainly at the quarterback position, as we made those moves and got to study both Russ and Justin and Kyle and even big junior Plumlee, you're trying to see what their strengths are, what we've been putting in, and it's been fun. It really has, getting to know all four of those quarterbacks and watching these guys compete.
Specifically with Russ and Justin Fields, how do they fit into your style of offense?
Well, both of them made a lot of plays in this league, in big moments. We're not so rigid. Every year I've tried to adapt. We have our core beliefs. There's things that they've historically done well, that we try to enhance, and there's other things that we've put in that fit really our overall personnel and the way we want to play and going into this season. Both those guys, they're really good play extenders. Certainly, they could change the launch points, which gives you an advantage. They're not just sitting there as a statue in the pocket. But both those guys, they're very professional. They're authentic people. They know who they are, and they bring a professionalism and a work ethic that the other guys they bring them guys along, and that's been exciting as well.
In terms of Justin, is it possible for him to have his own special packages, or is it too early to start thinking about those kind of things?
It's too early. Both those guys, they're playing quarterback. Like I said, they're out here competing. We know where we're at in the part of the year. We're playing football in shorts. As we're trying to improve and getting to know everybody and getting the chemistry with everybody else in the offense. And it'll be a fun time in Latrobe watching those guys compete.
Do you need a quote-unquote wide receiver number 2 for your offense? A designated guy?
Look, every year it changes. I mean, if you're talking historical, if you're just playing static and not moving and you were spread out and you had wide receiver 1, wide receiver 2, wide receiver 3, I mean, things change year to year. I mean, you see it every year in this league, guys that maybe 5th-round picks, end up being the rookie of the year. Guys get another opportunity, they step up. It's constantly changing. And then, unfortunately, guys get injured. You have to have depth. So you're working all those contingency plans all up and down the offense. No different than the offensive line. We get good competition there. On game day, usually you have 8. You got to have guys that have some position flexibility. So there's all these contingency plans as we're building this offense, as we're working as well.
In terms of the OTA and minicamp portion, what's the main thing you want the guys to take away before you see them again in training camp?
I think it's just getting a head start. Everything's new, just the basic stuff. I mean, the way we operate, the way we practice, it's a good time to get ahead, and it goes back to that chemistry. So you're not, a week behind in training camp, working out a lot of the operational stuff, and so that part's been great. We've had almost everybody here every day, and hopefully that gives us a leg up when we get into training camp.
How intentional was it to bring in some of your former players who know how you like to run an offense?
Well, a lot of it's just the circumstance. You got to fill out a 90-man roster going in, and maybe it helps you fill in the blanks here or there, but they're here because they played good football in the NFL and they're here to compete. And again, it's not about being. You have to have these certain guys or these coaches. I mean, we're a new staff as well, and the chemistry with the staff. But the little things, I think that, a guy like Michael Pruitt has been with me at 2 different stops. He can certainly fill in the blanks sometimes and help those other tight ends or other guys. You can't fault somebody for looking for a job. And
right.
It's exciting to have those guys here.
The offensive rookies talked about this PowerPoint presentation that you gave them to talk about the physicality of this offense. Can you tell me a little bit more about that? It was just a message to sit down with the rookies, just kind of let them know there's so much that goes on pre-draft, especially with the guys that, there were high picks and they, did a lot of visits or workouts or pro days, and everything's new to them. Those are some of the stuff that they missed, maybe the early part of phase 1. Just trying to catch them up to speed. And the last time we spoke, you were just starting the process of getting your staff together. What can we expect from the group of guys that you have for the offense? Oh, it's been fun. There's really only 2 guys that I've worked with before, and that's Mateo and Matt. And Matt was working on special teams, so Mateo's the only guy who's been with me, and that's a good challenge because he brings new ideas in, and it's a veteran staff. And like I said, that chemistry is important too, and how we go about and the way we operate behind the scenes. And it's been great. That's a big part of it for us as I've made this transition, is getting the staff on the same page. Like I said, we've got a lot of smart coaches here, and as we continue to build this thing. All right, thanks, Coach. Appreciate it. Thank you.